I'm up. I'm up. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's having a pleasant morning. If you are awake or waking up, having your coffee, or maybe you're at work, or maybe you're in Europe and you're in the middle of your day. The most interesting thing about being on doing a lot of live streams on other platforms is that they go worldwide. So I talk to people that are in Europe. I have people in Australia and um, what was it? I have a friend named Lifa, really great guy in Pakistan, and him and a bunch of his Pakistani friends are friends of mine, and we follow each other. But there's like a third, I don't know, it's like a 10-hour difference or 13, I think, something like that. So it's interesting. But so whenever I say good morning, I never know really who's watching it, and hopefully people are watching it where it's morning. But if it's not, and if it's afternoon, and this is something that actually you will find value, then that'd be good too. Okay, so had a little bit of an interesting evening. Was woken up about 3:30 in the morning, 3:30 maybe about 4 o'clock. By my wife that my son hasn't been sleeping. He slept. He's 4 years old. He fell asleep at about 9 o'clock last night, which was great. That was a really good time for us to get him down, and then he woke up, I guess, around midnight, and she's been up with him this whole time, and I didn't know that. I was sleeping. So anyway, she was finally came to me and she was like, "Listen, you got to take over. I can't do this anymore." She's got to work also. She's got to teach virtual classes and stuff. She's a teacher, so she sits right here where I'm sitting and teaches uh, uh, students. So I said fine. So I hung out with him till 5:30. So at 5:30 he fell asleep. I laid down. The alarm went off at 6:30, and I got up, got dressed, coffee, and now I'm here with you, lovely people. So uh, I'm gonna make today's morning gathering not too extensive. I hope everyone, if you are listening to this and you are available, if you're out there, let me know your thoughts on this. You can let if it's something that you disagree with, you can let me know in private if you don't want to put that publicly. If it's something that you think I should be doing, or something that I should not be doing, whatever it is. Maybe I shouldn't even be on doing this. You should actually go into a closet, John, a dark one, and just not come out of it. Is that okay for me to tell you in private, or should I put that publicly? Um, Private would be good if that's the comment. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about, as I was talking yesterday about the first thing action that I one of the actions that I wrote down, successful actions that I wrote down in 2013, um, was something can be done about it, right? If you're unhappy with your current situation, something can be done about it. That was the number one, right? And number two, I'll show it number two real quickly on the screen, is don't hate anyone for their successful. Don't. Oh, I'll give you that again. Don't hate anyone for their success. Oh, I wrote that wrong myself. For their, I see. This is proof that this is mine. It should be don't hate anyone for their success, even if the work isn't your cup of tea. So, so I gotta correct that. But anyway, so part of the journey that I've been on and meeting so many people, you start realizing that there are certain personalities that are, there is a jealousy, obviously, of some people. I was on a film set once, and I remember I was the lead in this film. It wasn't a major film, but it was a pretty big project, and I was the lead in this project. It wasn't huge, but it had a nice little crew and budget and cameras and big giant things going on, and so that was really cool. So, and I was the lead on it, and I had really had only done maybe like two other things before that. So, but there was another actor on set, and I remember him telling me, he was like, "Yeah, how long you been doing this?" Because I'm an older guy, obviously. So he probably thought I've been doing it for a long time, and I said, "Well, I've only been really, acting or in front of the camera for maybe only about 2 years at that point." And I remember he looked at me like, "Oh, all right, all right," and it wasn't like, and it was weird, man, because I was thinking to myself, "Shit, this dude asked me this question, and why was the purpose of asking me the question?" I mean, I got such a cold response from him, and I thought that, and then as the production went on, then I realized he told me later. He's like, I've been doing this for like 17 or 18 years or whatever he told me it was, and but it was that long. It was like in the teens. I think it was like 17 years, and I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, well, that's cool. What have you been, what have you done? And he told me some of the stuff he's done, and I think, when you're in this business, you can't go into it thinking of success. You can't go into it thinking I'm gonna be successful, and so this is what you have to go into it wanting success, but you really have to go into it with a passion for the work that you're doing. If you love doing it, I love doing this. This is why I do this. Do I get paid for this? No, I don't get anything for this. I get some exposure. I get some people calling me for other things, and I may make some money as a result of this. But this itself, I just like doing this, and I like communicating, and I like interacting with people. So it's not that's the reason I do it. That's my only first reason for doing it, right? And I think that that becomes a little bit gets a little bit cloudy when people get uh into other people's spaces and see what they're doing. They're trying to compare, and this is where the comparison kind of thing, this poor guy was comparing his career to my career, right? Completely different. I'm an older guy. I'm experienced. I was an experienced man already. I had been in multiple musical bands, played in front of lots of people, recorded records and all that stuff that I already kind of had experience kind of um, performing in a sense, and I've always been sort of an animated character to begin with. So people tend to think I'm a character anyway. So but he compared his career to my career, and he made the whole film set really uncomfortable actually after that. Um and he was almost questioning some of my choices that I was making as in my character. He was like, "Yeah, so is that how you're gonna do it?" And you know, because I was still sort of green, it did kind of introvert me a little bit, and that's the danger in that, those personalities that you surround yourself with. Um, you feel this because you're this industry, right? Any industry, anything that we do in life, right? There is always a self doubt when you're going out in public. How do I look? Am I looking okay? Does this jacket make my butt look big? Whatever we're focused on, it's because we're trying to get some type of an approval, right? In society, and it becomes uh, uh, a shield of some sort that we use to protect ourselves, right? From, we don't want to be vulnerable, right? And so when you surround yourself with people that are of that, where are basically looking at you to compare, or even if you're starting to compare yourself to others, that really will not get you to the promised land. That will definitely create a dark um it's a dark situation in your life where you won't enjoy doing the work anymore. And then that's where the tragedy lies, right? That this depression that you feel, or this self-doubt, that you feel, or if you're trying to compare yourself, all these things come from the whole from self doubt, and all of it is really gets entangled with other emotions of the passion, right? Because you have the passion of wanting to create, and then you have the self doubt, right? And then this all comes together, and it just doesn't work, and the work suffers. And not just that, even more tragically, you may stop and you may quit, you may give up, and that's where really I should talk up here, right? And that's where really the tragedy lies in in that. So I'm a little bit stuttering because I'm still kind of, like I told you my story earlier. I'm still sort of waking up, but I get my body used to this morning ritual. I'm gonna start doing this. um, I'll do it from here, but I might do it from other locations as time goes on. um, but anyway, I wanted to talk about a little bit about that. This here, excuse the word here, supposedly success. So it's not that you hate someone else's for their success, but is that you're comparing yourself. And maybe I should revise that to don't compare yourself to other people's success. I think I am going to revise that one actually, because hate is a strong word. And it's not that we hate, but I think for me, I've been in situations where I've heard people say, "God, I can't believe that guy has made it. Or I can't believe she's getting all this work, and I'm better than her. I'm way better than her. She sucks." And this is just toxic. It's not only toxic to the individual saying it, it's toxic to the person receiving it and hearing it. So this is what this whole message for me is. As you go out in the world today, you are the only you that's out there. There is no other you like you. Um, you are capable of doing only the things that you are capable of doing. And no one else is capable of doing the things that you're doing as well as you can do them, because you're you, and you're the only you that will ever be. And you're the only you that can actually do the things that only you can do. So when you realize that, and you say to yourself, "I am the only me. There is no other me." This is part of like some of the self affirmations that I give to myself, right? Especially if I'm going out on an audition or something, right? I'm going out on an audition, and I walk into a room, and I'm a short Puerto Rican dude, and I'm walking out into this room full of, sometimes, I get miscast, maybe because I'm older, but some of my photos, I may look a little bit younger, so I get cast as somebody a little bit younger, or maybe they just want to see me for whatever reason. But I'm in a room with a lot of younger people, or sometimes, or worse, you walk into a room and everyone looks like you. Everyone is short because they're looking for a short dude. Everyone has facial hair because they're looking for a short dude with facial hair for whatever thing. I auditioned for Gotham, and in the audition room, I was I walked in. Sure enough, about four guys sitting there, all short. And it was for, I can't even remember what it was. I didn't get it, but I had a great audition, so I took a win on that, because I remember that the casting director said, uh, she stopped me as I was going out. She said, first of all, she said, a lot of times, see, auditions are weird, right? And I'll talk about this a little bit. When you're comparing, this has to do with the topic. It's not going off topic, but when you're comparing your performance to the last performance you did, or to when someone told you how good you were, that when you're comparing any moment that happened in the past to the current situation that you're in, it becomes a danger. And so I go into auditions completely disconnected from anything. I'm only focused on this one thing. Once I get that thing out the door, or out, and I communicate that to the casting people, whatever they say, sometimes it's usually like, "All right, thanks a lot, John, I appreciate it." That means that, it's okay. But you never know. I've gotten that and gotten the role. Somebody says, "Hey, John, thanks a lot. We'll give you a call," and then they go off. They look at the video later on. They say, "Yeah, he is good." and I got the role, and I got a couple roles when I left there thinking, they didn't seem to like me. Other times they're like, hey, that was really great. I went to Google. I had an audition in Google, and I swore I was going to be Google's spokesperson, because they were like so loving and everything was great. And they asked me questions. They had me do a whole bunch of different things. I talked to a bunch. It's very, very intimidating because it's this huge room with like all these people around. But I didn't get it. Um, so when I was at Gotham, I remember after my audition, I went to leave the casting room, and she said, "Oh, that was really great, John. Thank you so much for coming down. I really appreciate it." Yeah, she was like, "That was really good." She said it like a couple of times, so I was like, "Okay, good." She liked it. She doesn't have to say that. She doesn't have to waste her breath on that, right? But she liked it. So I left the room and she called me back. She said, "Hey John, would you be available?" And she gave me a couple of dates. Would you be available? So I was like, "Yeah, I'm like it's Gotham, right? I'll make myself available." Okay. So I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I should be available." She's like, "All right, send me a message, let me know." So I was like, all right. So I sent her a message saying, "Yeah, I am available." Like when I got downstairs, I said, "Yeah, I'll check my schedule right now at the elevator." Sent her, and she was like, "Thanks." I didn't get it, you know, but I do remember that when I walked out of there, I did just put it behind me. And that was such a huge moment in my life because I remember I used to hold on to those auditions and be like, I wonder if they're going to call me. I wonder if they're going to call me. Are they going to call me? And it just becomes really, really crazy. So, not too far off topic, but a little bit. Um, but it does have to do with comparing yourself and to try to match up to someone else's success or someone else's even someone else's goal. Somebody says, "Yeah, my goal is this," and you're like, "Hey, yeah, you know what, that should be my goal too." No, that's not your goal, that's their goal. Your goal could be in that path, but it's your goal, it's not their goal, and it will never be their goal. It's always going to be your goal. So as you go out in the world today, I want you to really embrace that person that you talk to when you're alone, which is you. The advice that you give yourself, the the how you consult yourself for things, how you ask yourself for things. You know, there is that voice where you do talk to yourself and you're kind of just saying, okay, what should I do here? And that whole thing, your response to yourself is really going to matter, because if you can say to yourself, well, you know what, I'm gonna actually look at this and I'm gonna do the best I can because I think I'm good enough for this. I definitely have the skill, I definitely have the ability, I definitely have the passion, I have all the things. Why not me? Why not me? And if you have that viewpoint with that conversation to yourself, then you're in a good place. Then you're in a good place. If you have that voice that says, they're not gonna pick me. There's no way. They're not gonna pick me. Now, I hope I'm not sick. I have people that focus a lot about getting sick. They think, oh man, it's weird. I haven't been sick this whole. Oh man, I hope I don't get sick. And they end up getting sick. If you have that voice in your head, you know what I mean. Then you have yourself some work to do. But you always have hope and you always have people that you can bounce things off. So please remember that I'm always available. That is my this way. That is my come on, John. I should be used to this already. That's my website down there, johnhenrysoto.com. You can message me at johnhenrysoto at protonmail.com. I should probably put that in here. Maybe I did. Oh, I did. Here it is right here. But you can always email me at johnhenrysoto at protonmail.com. If you have any questions or if you need any help or any help on anything that I spoke about today, I am more than happy to sit down with you and or just do a phone call or a Skype call or whatever, a Zoom call, whatever they do now, um, and to assist you in any way possible. So please take that advice um, to heart, or take that suggestion to heart, because I really do mean that. And with that, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee here. But I gotta tell you, the world may look like it's upside down if you're watching the news. But if you're really paying attention and not watching the news, but really reading what's actually happening in the world, you realize there's a lot of great things happening in the world. And that the greatest years of our lives are ahead of us, not behind us. And people may look at that and be like, "You crazy? Look what's happening now with all this stuff that's going on in the world." Well, if that's what you're paying attention to, then that is your reality, and that makes sense. Especially if you're watching what's telling, the depending on what you're watching out there. But if you take the responsibility to actually go out and look and research things on your own and to study, then you realize that the world is heading in the right direction. It's just right now there are people that don't want us to go in that direction, and they're fighting us as heavy as much as they possibly can. Um, I pray for those souls. I hope that God has mercy on them, and that at some point they might see the light and be able to create more of a positive environment for themselves and for those around them. Hopefully, for them. For us, I think it's our responsibility to go out and to find better solutions, to continue to move forward, to grow as people, to find uh, a faith or something that you believe in, that you're willing to die for, that you push for on a daily basis, um, to take care of your friends and your family. And that's our responsibility. And I think we're going to get there. So thank you very much, everybody. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day out there. Get out there, make it happen. Be responsible with your own thoughts. Take those thoughts and write them down. Say, why did I think this? Let me handle this. And get out there and get it done, because you are capable. You are the only you that's out there right now. And God created you for a reason, and you are here now. So go out there and show God what you can do, and show everyone that you're there to help others and to make life and to make the planet a better place. Thank you all. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. And as always, peace. I always miss.